all. This is going to be a quick little episode covering the international break we just had. Missed a week of Premier League, but it will be back this weekend. Filming this on a Thursday. Premier League games come back on Saturday, so at the end of this episode, we'll give our predictions on them. Luke and Adam Ayub couldn't make it, but we do have their predictions as well, so throw those in as well as a couple middle segments as usual. United States played Germany first and then Ghana on this international break. The Germany one, we came out hot. Pulley came out with a vintage AC Milan Pulley goal.
Vintage.
Just those crackers he's been pulling out of his bag this year. Came out with one of those to open up the scoring, but after that, Germany proceeded to outclass our defense all game.
Yeah, 3-1 win for Germany. Probably one of the best lineups that the U.S. men's national team has ever fielded. We'll put a little graphic up of it, but I mean, top to bottom, Scally on the right, I thought he had a great game, at least in the first half. Dest, Ream, Richards, Turner in goal, McKinney, Musa, Gio playing more of a 10 role, and then Weah, Ballo, and Pulley up top. Skill-wise, I think it's probably one of the best that we've ever fielded, definitely better than what we had in the World Cup. But first half, I thought we played really, really well until kind of later in the first half, but definitely looked like BJ ball. We had 6 really, really good chances in the first half, I thought. Only 1 goal. For sure should have been 2 goals. Pulisic, if he just takes that ball from Balogun, that ball that Balogun played to him, if he just takes that first time, I think he's got a great chance of scoring it, and it's 2-0. But I thought, the first half we really didn't look terrible at all. We weren't playing normal triple G ball, just going straight down the wings. I think we were doing good, kind of playing out of the back, freeing up our wingers, and then getting the ball back in.
Yeah, we looked fantastic first half.
Yeah.
Trying to pull up some stats here. First half, 4 shots, 3 on target for us. It felt like a lot more.
Yeah. There was good. 6 chances. I don't. 2 of them weren't on target. I think Dest had one that went over the top of the crossbar, and then I think there was another one. But we were extremely, extremely threatening in that first half. Looked like it was extremely exciting in my opinion. It's probably some of the best ball I've seen us play, especially against a team like Germany. Even though they've got a new coach, he was coaching at Bayern Munich. He can't be bad.
Yeah.
And they have world-class players. So
yeah, definitely.
I think there's definitely a lot to build on from this game. One player that I want to touch on was Serginho Dest. I thought we could have, like you were saying before, I think we could have put him on the right where he's comfortable. I think he can play on the left, but I think just sticking him right in front of Sané was just a bad idea.
Yeah. We had for those that don't follow that closely, we had two right backs on the field, Serginho Dest and Joe Scally. Serginho Dest, ever since he's been a part of the team, has, I swear, created just as many offensive chances as anybody from the right back position. And then some people argue that Joe Scally overall is better. They'd prefer to have him there. I'm a huge Dest fan myself, but I don't have any issue with people who would rather have Scally there. But Scally's big thing is that he's a lot more solid two-way player. Dest is big gamble because he'll burn the other team and then he'll burn you. Scally's just a lot more safe, and it was interesting, like you said, that we decided to go with our better defender on the right and our guy who can get burned on the left, where Leroy Sané and Jamal Musiala were both coming from.
Absolutely
Germany's right side, coming straight at Dest the whole game. I mean, I'm sure Greg didn't really think about Sane and Musiala both coming off
Mhm.
that side. I'm sure he
Yeah,
didn't really assume that was going to be the case. But even so, even if it's a little bit embarrassing to switch your right and left back right after you find that out, you might have to. Um,
yeah,
might have, I don't know, just Scally. It would have been a good test to see Scally how he handled that because that's like, I mean, I don't care who you are. Those two dudes are two of the last dudes on earth you want coming at you dribbling.
yeah. Maybe
Um,
Greg just played Dest there because I mean Dest does have more pace than Scally. I mean that's just
right. He is
he's faster
fast.
than him, so he maybe thought that he could keep up with him more. But I mean,
Yeah.
every time Sané wanted to go inside on his left foot, it was there for him. I mean,
Yeah.
he would just go.
Yeah.
But
And you just can't even get mad at our guys
yeah,
for that. He does that against everybody.
yeah. But like you
But
were saying, I mean, Dest like he was 50% of our offense in the World Cup. I mean, like he was creating so much. So I mean, like he does create a lot of chances, and we'll get to the Ghana game. I mean, he had a great game in the Ghana game, but
yeah.
it's games like this where it's like, I if it came down to it at right back, I am a Scally guy just because he's just more consistent defensively, and I think that
Yeah.
we don't, you know, we have guys that can make it. Like if Gio's playing at a 10 role, I don't know that necessarily we need all of Serginho's runs and chances that because we're still going to create a lot, but I mean he does do so much for us offensively and just helping us
Yeah.
build up and get the ball down the field.
Yeah. This break was we really got to see all of Dest.
Yeah,
I was saying before either of these games, we were having a little Dest Scally debate in a group chat, and my thesis on Serginho before both of these games was he's gonna create three or four really good chances, um, and then he's gonna give up one or two goals. Not even good chances, like
yeah,
goals. Like he's gonna give up a goal or two.
yeah,
It's just a matter of if your attackers can finish the three or four really good chances he
yeah,
gives to them.
yeah.
So
And
that's
Germany will be able to
that yeah,
most
and
every single time.
Germany was able to capitalize and Pulisic and Balogun weren't exactly they both had decent games versus Germany, but they weren't really on their toes quite
I
enough
don't think
to
you can blame. I don't think you can blame Balogun as much because I think they were still having trouble finding him, and I think they did a
yeah.
little bit of a better job in the Ghana game of doing that. But
Yeah.
they need to just feed him, man. He's so world class. He's so good on the ball. I mean,
Yeah,
every single touch is good.
he's
Um,
really good.
and when you find him in those good areas, he can fucking finish. I
Yeah.
mean, he should have had an assist this game. He should be at 5 games, 5 goal contributions for the U.S.
Yeah.
If Pulisic takes that first time, I really think it's a goal. So, I mean,
No
he's
doubt.
just been phenomenal. And
No doubt. It was I think my it was really good to see Reina finally. I mean, this is like the first rekindling of
yeah,
him and
yeah,
Greg. It was
only played the
really nice
first
to see
half,
him.
but
Yeah, it was really nice to see him start and us have the plan to give him the ball.
yeah, play him where he likes to play.
It
Let
was
him cook.
crazy watching a world class team full of world class
Yes,
guys
not a single
how
MLS
they
player in this
reacted
team.
to Gio Reyna just having the ball.
Yeah,
Balogun found himself open
yeah,
more certainly more often than he would have if it was just the classic Tyler Adams, McKinney, Musa,
yeah.
no
He's just
Reyna.
such a
So
good transition from the midfield to the attack because I mean
he
he
op-
can the dribbling, the passing, just how good he is at playmaking is we need him in the team.
yeah, he was the final pass to Gio Reyna opened up everything so nicely. Beat people in the midfield, created space for himself, got away from pressure by himself, or a combination with him and his right back, left back, winger,
Mm-hmm.
whoever, and just he was the focal point. He was everything moving through him.
Yeah,
But yeah, like it opened up our whole attack, and we just couldn't find a way to get Balogun the ball. Even Gio missed a through ball to Balogun where instead he played Pulisic to his feet. It was a successful
Yeah.
pass. It wasn't a turnover, but and it led to
It led. I
it
think it
led
was. I think he crossed it in or something. I don't know how good
yeah,
of
it
a
led
cross
to
it
a
was, but yeah,
really good chance, but it could have been a one-on-one with the goalie for
yeah,
Balogun,
for
which
Balogun,
in
you
the
take that
first
every day of the week.
in the first and that's what I think that's what they were coached on to do this whole
Yeah,
time is, hey, let's get this guy the ball. We know we have
yeah,
to. And then after the first half of this Germany game, it became like, all right, this is a big this we can't let this be a big problem that we can't
yeah,
get this Balogun guy the ball.
yeah,
But I think everybody that was a problem, and it's easy to say, why could we get in the ball? Well, it's a
yeah,
big problem. But like situationally, it's just different every time.
yeah,
And you just have to trust that dudes as good as Reina and Pulisic are eventually going to find them.
yeah.
And
I think our team is just so conditioned to playing through Pulisic too.
yeah,
That like now that I mean, the team is. I mean, we're so stacked with talent that like it doesn't really need to go through him every single time. I mean, like it, especially attack wise, man.
yeah,
I'd love to see what going through Balogun. Just feed that man. Just let him
yeah,
cook.
definitely play through Reina, but funnel
Hmm.
to Balogun
Yeah,
and McKinney and Pulisic and Tim Weah. If you do those two, if you just focus, play through Reina,
yeah.
funnel to Balogun,
Balogun will
and
be
then and you
scoring
see
or
how that
assisting.
frees up McKinney, Pulisic, and Weah.
Yeah,
Those three could turn into the most dangerous people on
yeah,
our team
yeah,
when in reality Balogun and Reina are probably the most talented and who we need to play through.
yeah,
But it just haven't we've never had four or five people this technically gifted
yeah.
at the same time. It's crazy. And I
It really
think
is. Playing in top leagues too. I mean,
yeah,
that's the big thing.
and even as young as they are and as little time they spent together with a subpar coach,
Yeah,
they're already clicking
yeah,
easily just because of how good each kid is
yeah.
and
It's literally
how
just going to be
how
up
good their
to
knowledge is
Greg
of
to just pick
what
the
they're
right
doing.
lineup.
It's gonna be I think with Greg or not, like we nobody on the fucking channel knows how we feel about Greg, but everybody you should like if you follow American soccer a little bit, you should have an opinion close to ours on Greg. He's not the answer.
No,
He's kind of his personnel decisions mainly are just absolute bonehead. Makes
he's a
no sense how you
nepotism
do it.
hire, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
nepotism hire,
yeah,
North
just
Carolina, U.S. soccer elitism. It's if we ever get out of that, we're going to be actually dangerous in the world. But anyway, even under Greg, uh, if this group gets to play together once every couple months for a solid week for the next 3 years, we're gonna be dangerous. I mean, I we're gonna be really good. I don't
mhm,
like we're gonna be really, really
yeah.
good.
You can
Like,
see it too. You can see it. I mean, these and they're so young, and most of these dudes in this team have already played so many games together. It's only
yeah,
going to get better, and they're only going to get better.
yeah,
Um, it's a scary prospect, man. Definitely
yeah,
very exciting, but the first half definitely. I mean, tons to talk about and tons a lot of good, but second half went bad quick. Really, just I thought that defensively, just we were nowhere near aggressive enough, and especially in the midfield, that they just weren't giving the defense enough cover, and the defense wasn't being aggressive enough. And Germany was pretty much just getting whatever they wanted. I don't think you can really blame Matt Turner. I thought he had a great first half. He had 4 saves in the game. Um, I don't really think the first goal was his fault. Defense just kind of got
yeah,
cooked and left him on an island. But in the second half, I think at least for the 2 goals that were scored by Germany, it looked like we kind of reverted back to playing Greg ball, really heavily focused on just getting, I mean, playing wide as fuck, hitting the wings and everything. They just, I mean, they were all over us. Um,
yeah. I mean, we lost. We took Reyna off the field. We took Balogun off the field. We
which
took Pulley
I'm
off
not.
too.
I
But
mean, when Pepe comes on, especially when we're playing Greg ball, Pepe fits that a little bit better, and I'm fine with
Yeah,
Pepe coming home, but
don't mind it. I don't mind it. Yeah.
yeah, De La Torre didn't look up to it.
No,
There was a good bit of dudes that just didn't really look up to it. Arrington looked all right.
the Johnny Cardoza dude looked fantastic.
He in the Germany game as a sub, I didn't
Yeah, I
really
mean
see him
both
in.
all weekend.
Yeah,
I mean he
especially against
just
Ghana.
solid.
Yeah,
Yeah, solid, solid. Where is he at? I thought you knew last
he's like
somewhere in
somewhere in he's. I want he.
somewhere in
I
the
think he's actually
Netherlands.
no. I think he's playing in Brazil. I want to say he's playing in Brazil because they always play Brazilian music for him in the in the locker room.
Uh,
You look him up real quick.
he's just we didn't have a clue who he was or anything, but he's just another piece
Yeah, so he
with
plays
some
for
good,
Internacional in Brazil.
yeah, gives us great depth in the
Yeah,
midfield. I don't mind him coming in as a
yeah,
sub.
I think he's the number four in the midfield.
Well,
Especially the Ghana game. I thought he looked great.
you have the three that we played in the World Cup plus
Yeah.
Reina now.
Well, no, I'm just talking about for more like those pivots,
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
double pivots. Like if you, I mean, if say you start the game with Weston and Tyler, you put Musa and Johnny on or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you don't lose too much.
No, no. I think Johnny, he did great, especially in the Ghana game. Saw a lot more of him, especially because he started. But
Yeah. And then we didn't really only thing we haven't touched on too much from this game was the defense. Tim Ream did all he could.
yeah,
Um
he was great on the ball, playing out of the back. By the way, in this
always
game,
always our best defender on the
yeah,
ball. Even when he plays for Fulham, you watch him as closely as you want and he will impress you once or twice a game on the
yeah.
ball.
I think Richards was a little lackluster. It wasn't
Richards and
moving
Dest
around very well.
defensively,
Yeah.
yeah. It Dest was just getting cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ream was maybe kind of stepping to it, and then it just
Reem was trying to do too
two
much.
leaves Richards 2v1 with like Gundogan, Fulkrug, Gundogan, Sane, and Richards was just getting. Uh, I mean,
Reem was just getting unlucky. I know there was one that he went to clear and it just somebody got right in front of it, deflected, and then they went on to score a goal, I think. But
yeah, but they, like we said earlier, those two dudes just cooked Dest all night,
I
and
would have loved to
then
seen Cameron Carter Vickers play, maybe instead of Richards.
instead
But
of
Richards
Richards,
did
yeah,
have a good
Richards
game the last time that they played in the
he
nation.
did have a great game. He when he's healthy, he plays
Mm-hmm.
for Crystal Palace, a solid perennial mid-table team in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Um, we love Chris Richards. He's awesome, but I like Cameron Carter Vickers. I want Cameron Carter Vickers to start. Plays for Celtic in Scotland. He I've just never I've never I don't think I've ever seen him make a mistake. He was
I think it
so
might just be his
solid.
height is why Greg doesn't start
I
him. I
think
don't
so.
know.
I guess he's 5'11" or six
Greg,
flat or
Greg
something
wants
like
to
that.
win all the headers and everything.
That's got to be why. But when he played in the World Cup, I think he
So
played for
good.
like half of one game and started
Yeah.
the whole next game. So good. Like I didn't see one mistake.
Mhm.
Just really just solid. Um, Chris Richards is liable to make some mistakes. Chris Richards is a lot more heavy and clunky and slow. Sometimes his feet look too heavy for his own body. He can't
Yeah.
turn around quick enough or back up quick enough. And when you're a center back, that if you do that 5 times a game, it's going to lead to a goal.
Yeah.
So
I did have a question for this game though. Um, so after playing a team like Germany like this, and I mean, seeing how good we played in the first half, and then getting, defensively getting exposed in the second half. Um, do you think it's necessary? I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty necessary that we have Tyler Adams. And then who who would you take off in place of Tyler Adams? Because I mean, you see, I think in this game, for big games like this, for teams that have midfields like Germany have and attackers, I just think you saw it against England in the World Cup, especially. But Tyler Adams was just such a disruptor, man. They couldn't get shit going.
Yeah.
He's all over the place. I think this was a game that would have been perfect for Tyler Adams. He could have maybe completely changed the outcome. Um, but at the same time, it's really hard to say who I would take out instead.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
if I
really
had to
hard.
choose, I'd probably go Musa because I think Weston just has such a good connection with Pulisic down that left side. Um,
Yeah. Musa's gonna Musa and Tyler's player profiles are very similar, pretty similar. So I think for a while ever since we've been knowing Gio Reyna has to start, I've been I've been saying I don't care who it is out of Weston or Tyler. I've been having Eunice as a guy that just has to be there. But I think the Germany game kind of showed, and then any big game,
yeah,
how crucial the other two guys are. Because
I
I mean,
think if
Weston, I think you let Tyler was needed in this game. He provides a lot more of a defensive presence, and he's just
mhm,
a pest for teams like this, especially with really good, creative, quick midfields and attackers.
yeah,
He's just a crazy difference maker that he changed the score line against a team like Ghana. And then in every big game we've seen, like it's easy to say Yunus Musa is more consistent than Weston McKennie. He's a little bit quicker, a little bit better defensively, but in big games, McKennie has a moment or two every time. Like,
that Mexico game, it just made him a legend in my eyes, man. I absolutely love the dude, and I just think Musa is a lot. Him and Tyler do have kind of similar player profiles, but he is a little bit more attack. I mean, he's a good bit more attacking than
yeah,
or he can be a good bit more attacking than Tyler, and I think he will look to get forward a little bit more. Whereas Tyler would just be looking to, I mean, just disrupt everything, kind of keep possession, be an outlet.
yeah.
I
If
think
you
that game
lose,
really would have suited him.
if you lose Weston and Tim Ream, I think Tim Ream's the only other guy who can really do this. Tim Ream's passing out of the back is extremely underrated.
Weston had an
But if
amazing
you
ball
lose
to
Weston
Pulisic that
and
looked
that
like it was
guy,
on,
yeah,
and then they called
yeah,
it
the Pulisic
offside.
one, I swear it was on. They didn't have VAR or whatever.
Beautiful ball from him from the back.
That
I
one should have
think
been on. And then there was another that I don't
mhm,
know, but it seems like every time we play a big team, Weston will have two or three moments where he finds himself in more space than usual, picks his head up, and just picks out a nice little ball. All of a
mhm,
sudden, we're through when it looks like we haven't been able to break through in a couple minutes or
mhm,
5 10 minutes. Weston and Tim Ream can do the same thing. Finding Pulisic on long balls, finding Weah on long balls. He did that a couple times over the break. But them two is that like that's to me that's a that's the difference in somebody that been playing in Europe their whole life versus the MLS. Just
yeah,
the crazy gap in quality
yeah,
where it doesn't seem like a lot, but
it,
at the end of the day,
it's a
not a
lot.
lot of people do it. Not everybody does it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
they're just
When you see
really good.
competition like that week in and week out, you adjust and you can become good. When you don't,
Yeah,
I mean, you're used to that.
you have to let the best qualities in you out,
Mhm.
and you have to perfect them and get good at them.
So
And
would you be Musa or McKinney out? I think I
I'm taking
I
Musa
think you
out. You got to
yeah.
have
I
yeah
think especially just him being younger, that
yeah
maybe
uh,
is what kind of kicks him out of it.
yeah.
Um,
We've said for the last year how much we love Yunus Musa and how
oh yeah,
he literally has top three potential
oh
on
dude,
this team
I mean,
potential wise.
he could be he could be the number one. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got all the potential in the world. Um,
yeah.
but I mean, he's
But
still just
Tyler
so
taking
young.
over that defensive profile, and then you got to have a guy like McKinney who can pick his head up and create a play out of nowhere.
Yeah, but
And
being
we're
able
not
to
gonna
having to discuss like who's got to come off the bench, like that's just crazy. Like he's
yeah.
having Musa come off the bench is crazy to me.
We've never had
Um,
this problem.
yeah,
Any of these four guys, if you want to say Johnny five, uh, are would be all five of those guys would be our number one
You say six, Malik
midfielder.
Tillman.
Malik Tillman's better than Michael Bradley. Like we have
Oh,
six
so
center mids
so
better
much
than
better.
the guy who was our go-to center mid for 12 years. 12 years before this generation came. Now we have
Happy retirement to
six
Michael
dudes better
Bradley,
than
by
him.
the way.
Happy retirement to that guy.
Happy retirement. Good riddance, man.
Good
No, no, we appreciate it. We
thank you for
appreciate
that.
it.
Thank you for that chip goal. That was pretty cool looking.
Chip was
Against,
sick.
was that Mexico?
I think it might have been Mexico or Canada. I think it was
Good
Canada.
job, Michael
I
Bradley.
think it was Canada. Um, let's
Michael
move to
Bradley.
the United States versus Ghana game though. Um, Complete turnaround from the Germany game. 4-0 win for the United States. Just I mean, class all around. Didn't control possession, which I thought was a little bit weird. Probably, I mean, I think Greg's whole thing is that he wants to possess the ball too, and both games you you lose the possession battle. But nonetheless, the first goal, the setup for it, it was all Balogun, man. Just 1-2 in off of Pulisic. I, I think he had a little 360 spin, played it to Pulisic, got the ball back off him, kicked it in, and then it deflected. Comes to Reyna. Reyna finishes it easily. Um, and
Yeah.
I just want to touch on Gio Reyna one more time. I know I said a little bit about it earlier, but in this game, he was so fucking good on the ball. There was one point in the game that he dropped. I don't think Greg wanted him to drop deep, but he just dropped deep anyway, and he played. I mean, just probably 3-1-2s off two defenders and a midfielder, and then he just dribbled the ball up the field and created a chance. We just
All
need to
by
feed
himself.
it. It's all him, man. And like
Nobody else
when we
doing it.
get static, like when we got static in the World Cup, like I think we kind of relied on Dest to just kind of maybe beat one person and kick down the right wing. Gio is that like times 10. Like he makes so much happen from anywhere at and it's really at any time that he wants. I,
So
I
dynamic.
thought he was amazing this break, and I'm so glad that all the beef is apparently squashed and that he's able to come back into the team and he's starting now. And
Yeah.
because
The beef seems well
thank God
ended.
for BJ Callahan. Thank God for BJ. Let me see him. Let me see him. Thank God for that BJ Callahan
He's
right
the
there
coach that stepped up.
because BJ put him at that 10 and showed the world that just stick him at the 10, play our best guys, and let them fucking cook.
Yeah.
Let
If he
them
didn't
fucking
do
cook.
that, because he did that, that was the first and only chance Greg and everybody else had to see that we have to have this guy.
Yeah.
If BJ didn't play him and start him in 10 and have
BJ
the game
Ball
plan to
is the
go through him,
way.
then
It is
we'd
the
have no
way.
evidence that it's what we should have
Yeah.
been doing all
We
along,
just
even though
needed the
we've been calling
evidence.
it for a couple years
All we
now.
needed was the evidence, and now Greg can't fucking bullshit anybody because we know,
Yeah, now you can't
we know
lie.
what happens
You
when
can't just
you line him
lie
up like
now.
this.
Now we know, yeah.
Um,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
the overall though, I'm not as I like what Greg's been saying to in like halftime and into the game interviews. It seemed like, I mean, we watched a halftime interview, two halftime interviews, and two into the game interviews with him, and each time he said like he only said like two or three sentences, but it was stuff that we had been saying all game. Like
yeah.
for the first time he wasn't just like
He said I remember
making no
one of them
sense.
he was just we just need to feed Balogun
Yeah, and we're
and
like, fuck
I'm
yeah, dude.
still like I'd still
That's the
rather
smartest
him
thing you've ever said.
not be here than be here, but he does annoy me a lot less this so far this go around.
This break made me realize I would rather win with
Literally just make
Greg.
the right decision with the lineup, and I'm probably going to be
Yeah,
happy. Like
yeah,
that's literally all it takes, and it's taken him. I don't know how many years has he been. Is he going on year like what 4 or 5?
yeah.
It
This
took
is his.
this many years, at least 3 years, for you to just play the best lineup. You don't need these MLS guys.
Yeah. Well, it's our abroad guys, European playing guys, have
You just
just
can't
made it.
deny it. Yeah, you
They've
can't
just
deny it.
made themselves undeniable. Yeah. At this point, where you used to be like when say McKinney had maybe a year, less than a year of European experience. Pulisic was really the only one booming in Europe. Then Greg had a little bit of I guess a little bit to stand on as to why he prefers MLS players. But now that you have Reyna doing really well anytime he's healthy, Pulisic doing crazy good anytime he's healthy, uh, whatever, Weah, McKinney,
Yeah.
Musa, all these guys performing well in Europe. It's just like can't you can't deny them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a sad day for Paul Areola and Aaron Long, and
Happy
really
day for
sad day for
me.
really sad day for Jordan Morris.
Awesome day for us, man.
Fantastic day for everybody else that gives a shit about the United States soccer.
Yeah, and us like progressing as a nation within the game.
Yeah.
But, third goal, Gio Reyna again. Who? It's simple stuff, but Weah just playing him a ball just a little bit inside, him holding off a dude, waiting for Weah to make his way around, and then playing him through. Weah kicks the ball in. Or no. Weah, he plays Weah back in, and then Weah gets fouled for the PK, and then Pulisic finishes it. Gio's just being able to hold him off, get that ball through to him. That's all we need. It's really simple stuff, and he can do it, and he does it
Yeah.
at a really really high level. So I think. I just can't say enough about Gio Reyna, man. He had
He's the
such a good
first
game.
he's the first American player to be this good in the
Yeah.
midfield. No doubt. Like
Dribbling
by
wise,
so much.
Pulisic is
He's a
great
total
dribbling, but this
he's a
dude is
total
insane.
different type of player
Yeah.
than anything we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Like
For
top
sure
to
in our
bottom.
lifetime. For sure in our
Yeah.
lifetime.
Yeah, who knows if they had a Magista fucking in the 90s. I don't know.
His dad was
But
apparently an amazing playmaker, but there's no way he was this good.
yeah, it
There's
can't be
no
this
way.
crafty.
There's no way. Um,
Yeah. We've never we're living in a really 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 good time to be a
yeah,
United States fan. I
yeah.
mean, we on the show here we love Clint Dempsey. We love Clinton. Like can't say enough. Can't have
Number
enough
one.
respect for the guy. We have so
Number
much
one.
respect. Can't have enough. Love Landon Donovan. I wore the number the first time I was able to choose a number in the sport of soccer. I chose 21. Landon Donovan. We love but we've never had anybody nearly as good as Fuller and Balogun.
No,
Never had
no,
a midfielder
no,
nearly as good as Gio Reyna. Like
no.
anywhere, never had anybody in the same category, like in the same tier
Yeah,
as those two guys.
yeah.
And then Pulisic on the wing. We never had a winger like that either. Like we never had a winger like Tim Weah.
No.
Tim Weah would have been a stud in any other era of U.S. soccer. Been one of the best
110%.
on the team for sure. And we
Tim
haven't.
Weah put Tim Weah in that 2014 team, but I don't care where Josie Altidore was or who was playing on the right. Right or up top, I think he'd play over
I think it was
anybody.
Graham Zusi, but yeah,
Graham Zusi. We've come
but
so
Graham
I looked at
Zusi.
the 2014 squad today, and the amount of MLS players on it is insane. It's insane. Um, but it just, I mean, goes to show how far we've come, man.
I want to give. Oh, we
Insane.
haven't give Tim Weah enough. I want to give Tim Weah a
Yeah,
round of applause right now. Tim
fantastic,
Weah's
man. So
these two
class.
games.
He doesn't get enough credit. I mean, he doesn't
He
really
was
score. He hasn't. I mean, he didn't score in either game. I don't think, but he might
no,
have.
but he created a lot, and he was a problem
Yeah, drew that
for
PK and
everybody we
assisted
played against.
Balogun on Balogun's goal.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
he was
beautiful
just
finish.
he was so ready to go at whoever,
That
and he
spin
did.
move,
Every
just
time he got the ball, he'd just
killer,
find a way
bro.
to get around in somebody
Killer
in front of him with just sheer speed, a flick over their head, like
every
it was
touch. Just look it.
every way
He's
you could go around somebody. Tim Weah went around somebody
yeah,
on this break. Dude is round of applause for him.
yeah.
Um, and then Miles Robinson, probably the best MLS player we've had play for us
Which
since
isn't
I've been
saying
watching.
oh well, yeah.
Not saying, I
It's
mean,
not saying it's not saying a
the
ton.
best of the best in the MLS are quality guys.
He's still probably my fourth choice center back, but he is the
Maybe
best
so.
MLS guy that I have seen yet. I agree
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. I wanted to give him a shout out. He's I don't like grouping him in with the rest of the MLS guys. He's a little different. He moves quicker, smarter. You could tell he just sees the game clearer. Just touches or each touch is better to set up his next touch. He does never looks goofy. He's a solid guy. Shout out to Miles Robinson.
But yeah, Balogun's goal, pass from Tim West from the outside, spin move, beautiful finish. Dude's an absolute fucking killer. Um, and then the last goal was an indirect free kick, perfectly taken, perfectly taken by Gio Reyna.
Yeah.
Class assist by Christian Pulisic. I don't know how he thought to do that, to roll the ball back towards
I
the net.
I I never there's never a reason. There's got to be plenty of guys out there in England on Indeed, jobs.com, whatever, looking to be able to commentate any kind of football, soccer game that they can get their hands on. There should be never a need to hire an American white guy to talk to be a commentator of a soccer game.
Well, it's
It's
American
just
soccer, bro.
it's it's just so it's not only is it just cringe,
It was bad.
they don't they don't
They
know
don't have
like
the
they're
lingo.
not they don't have the lingo. I don't even think they have the knowledge like at the average UK guy does. Like
Tell
it,
me
we
Taylor Twellman doesn't know ball.
Gio Reyna's was it his first or second goal was the indirect we got whatever. We
It's
had
the
an
second
indirect
goal. It
free
was the
kick.
last one.
Last goal, we had an indirect free kick in box. Obviously the plan, and this is most most indirect free kicks that you see. Obviously the plan, guy guy rolls it to another guy who either stops it or rolls it to the kicker. That happens almost every time you take a. And so we did that. Balogun rolled it to Pulley, who rolled it back to Gio, finished it. And the all the announcer had to say was how smart it was of Pulley to roll it back to Gio right there. Like how how lacking knowledge can you be? Like that is just such a goofball thing to say. And that's the only thing he had to say about that goal. Like that's the play that they ran. Like that.
Yeah. For this game, USA all the time, pretty much. All USA all the time. Amazing game by the boys. Uh, not an amazing Ghana side, but really, really good to get all those goals on the board and get some of those guys going. So. All righty, let's move on to our middle segments. We'll start with player of the break. Um, I'll go first with mine. It's going to be Giovanni Alejandro Reina. Absolutely beautiful break. Um,
His
only
middle name's
played,
Alejandro.
yeah, his middle name is Alejandro. Uh,
Nice.
but I mean, only played the first half in the first game. Looked fantastic. Just uh, looks like he just looks so amazing. He's so promising. Um, I think the sky's the limit for him if we can continue to just play him in that number 10 role, let him cook, let him feed
Still
people.
still 20 years old, ain't he?
Yeah, I believe so. 20 or 21, something like that, but still extremely young. Um, hopefully he can start to get some game time for Dortmund in the Bundesliga, but it is a pretty stacked team. Marco Royce, I do understand. But, hopefully he can get some super sub minutes, maybe get a few starts in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Marco Royce, love the guy,
He's getting up there in age, but he's still class, brother. You don't forget that.
Still class. Love the guy, but it can't have too much left. I mean, this Geo kid is pretty good. Like he's pretty good. Like
Pretty good.
Marco
Maybe the
Royce
coach has
was.
something against him. I don't know.
I don't know. Hopefully not. That would fucking suck.
Marco's a super sub, doesn't sound like
Yeah, it isn't too bad. Gio as a super sub. I've been honestly before these two games, I wouldn't have been mad at Gio as a super sub for most games.
that. Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to
Malik
then
is the
you're wait
super
then
sub
you're
for Gio.
wasting 60 minutes of Balogun too.
Yeah.
almost wasting it. McKinney
Yeah,
will pick his head up and find him once or twice, but you're pretty much wasting your first 60 minutes of Balogun. So you'd have to
yeah.
then make Balogun and Reyna the super sub duo coming in with 40 minutes left or whatever, 30 minutes left or whatever. But no, you got to start Reyna. Um, yeah. After this break, that's solidified it.
Yeah.
You take out Musa, McKinney, whoever you got to take out.
Who you got? Player of the break though.
Player of the break, I'm gonna give it to Tim Weah.
Tim Wyatt. I like that.
Tim Weah,
Give him his
every
flowers.
time, every time it was near him, you could tell he's ready to do something to somebody. he
Him
was,
and Weston, I think,
yeah,
especially. I think Weston, the Germany game, I think he played on the right so he could link up with Leia just because of the Juventus connection. Um,
yeah. I think it was
they've
this
looked.
Ghana game. I don't like how little Dest and Weah have been involved so far this game, and I think it's because McKinney isn't on that right side next to him.
I think he moved back to left on the Ghana
McKinney
game.
does a crazy good
I
job
know
of getting those two guys involved.
Ghana game did start.
If you get Dest and Weah involved running around that team's left side and McKinney, Reyna, Pooley, whoever, Balogun linking up with them two, those two guys create goals for anybody against
Mhm.
anybody. Like the and McKinney links up with them so well. But right after I said that, Dest and Weah, like Dest won the ball, beat somebody, played Weah, who then
Yeah,
beat one or two guys, and that led to I think our first goal. Like right seconds after I said I don't like how McKinney's not able to get them two involved, so they haven't been as involved. They got themselves involved right after that. So I just
I think pretty much
Weah,
like everybody on the team has been showing like really like everybody's been really confident, especially at their new clubs. But I think I mean, you don't really want to call it McKinney's new club, Juventus, because he's been there before. But I mean, it does seem like he's a new player, like he's second
it
lease
seems
on life there. I mean, those
yeah
two, the confidence, they're just oozing confidence, man.
he's like the fifth or sixth best player on the team, but in within an instant he can seem like the best and
Yeah,
seem like we can never drop this guy. We can't go a
yeah,
game without this guy because he can do stuff
yeah.
like this.
I
Uh,
agree.
we have five guys like that.
I think I don't know why it reminded me, but you saying like the depth or whatever, we have to see a little bit of that Kevin Paredes kid as well, and I think he looked really good, really pacey. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see a little bit more of him.
I think he's still really young. Isn't he like 17,
I think he's
18,
17, 18. Still, I think he's still in
17?
Williamsburg, but I think he's getting a good bit of playing time over there.
Yeah. That's another guy who's just literally you could just tell he's born with more talent
Yeah.
than a lot of these guys could ever achieve. But
Uh,
yeah, it's exciting period.
let's move to stinker of the break. Do you have anybody for this?
Um
If you don't, I can just take it away. I really can just take it away on this one. Um,
yeah, let me just give it real quick to
yeah,
Chris Richards, who I really liked as like a very safe pick to be a starting center back. And
mm,
now, if you ask me, I want Ream and Cameron Carter Vickers.
yeah, 100%. I agree.
Chris Richards just so clunky. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
he
He didn't look good for Crystal in the Premier League the last time out either. So he
like
just needs to get his confidence back.
yeah, and we still like him. We still love him. I understand. I understand getting burned by Sane, but the kid got burned by 40-year-old Gundogan.
Yeah. Um, Stinker of the break for me is going to be one Sandro Tonali. Um, if y'all haven't seen anything in the news or whatever, Sandro Tonali went back to Italy for the Italian. I think it was Euro qualifier. Yeah, Euro qualifiers. They had 2 or 3 games during the break, and while in the Italian camp, him and I think 1 or 2 other players maybe got approached by the cops, had to leave camp, and they were under investigation for illegal gambling. Um, there was pictures at first. It was just pictures that came out of him in the casino gambling, and he just said that he had a gambling addiction. So I didn't think it was going to be anything too serious. And then it came out that he was betting on sports. Still, that's holding out a little bit of hope. And then about 2 days ago, it came out that he was betting on AC Milan while he was playing there, only betting on them to win, not betting on them to lose. So he wasn't really tampering with the games in any way, but he was betting on them to win. So now he's going to face probably a 12-month ban. I don't know when that's going to kick in. I don't know if he's going to be able to play this weekend. I think that they were saying that it would probably kick in December, which I'm hoping it would, so he can get through the Champions League group stage with us, because we really, really fucking need the depth, especially at that position, especially for how much money we just spent on them and putting us in financial fair play trouble, which means that we might not be able to sign anybody during the January window to kind of, replace him for the 12 months that he's going to be fucking gone. Extremely frustrating, because he is by far one of the most promising players in the Newcastle team. But it's really just, I love this kid and I will continue to support him. But how fucking dumb can you fucking be? I follow the dude's girlfriend on Instagram. Dude's got a fucking smoking hot girlfriend. He's making a shitload of money playing and I'm not even talking about the Newcastle shit. He's making a shitload of money to play for his fucking boyhood club in Italy, playing with some of the best players in the world. You're making a shitload of money every week. You're getting to do what you love. You're just playing ball. What else do you need? How much money are you betting on these games? How much more do you like? You're making a fuckload. How much do you need? How much do you really need? So I love the kid, but you get what you reap what you sow. How fucking greedy can you be? You've got everything in the world, and you got to fucking start betting on your fucking team and shit. Like, that's just stupid. Thinking that you're not gonna get fucking caught. That's fucking stupid. And I love you,
Yeah.
but just it's so infuriating. And you know that AC Milan knew about this when they fucking transferred him to us. It's bullshit that they claim that they fucking didn't, but it's whatever, man. I hope that he can make it. I hope that it starts in December and it's December to December. Because we need him, especially right now. Joe Linton coming back from injury. We still don't have Willock back. We don't have the depth to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
these professional European soccer players are making as much as like NFL
the
players,
best
some
NFL
NBA
players. Yeah,
players.
like
Yeah, like they're making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a week. If not like
yeah,
maybe a little, maybe Tonali was making a little under that, maybe a little over that at AC Milan, but there's no
yeah.
need to get
Why?
into gambling. At all.
Got
Once
everything, dude.
like you
Why
cannot let
risk
yourself.
it?
Why get in? You don't need the money. Like, why get into it to begin with? And then
You
once
play
you're into
ball
it,
for a living. Like,
once
just play
yeah,
ball. Just,
once
you
yeah,
don't
play
need anything
ball,
else.
go
That
chill with
pays
the
the
girlfriend,
bills.
chill, have some friends, fucking eat some pasta, do whatever. But
What
I mean,
else do you need,
once
dog?
you get into something like that, addicts have the
I
ability
mean, and I
to
love that he's,
drain out
the kid is
everything else
addicted,
but what
and
they're
it's
addicted to.
yeah, and it's good that he's
And
come out and he wants to seek therapy and he wants to get better and everything, and that he acknowledges that he's addicted. But I mean, dude, just come on. He's 23. He's 23 right now.
yeah,
He's 20. You don't get that back, especially in soccer, man. Like, the people are retiring earlier and earlier and fucking earlier. He's gonna be in Saudi by fucking 32. That's 1 year that we can't get back, and that's 1 year off of his contract. And but it's it's fucking infuriating, man.
yeah.
Um, let's move on though. We're gonna be making an all-time U.S. men's national team starting 11. Me and Miguel has kind of talked about it before, so we'll just kind of roll, um, give you a little tidbit on each player and everything. Um, but let's just get right into it. We'll start with the goalkeeper. Pretty self-explanatory here. The Secretary of Defense, Mr. Tim Howard, Sir Tim Howard. Um, 121 caps for the USA, 42 clean sheets, 3 World Cups that he made, and 16 saves in one game, a World Cup record versus Belgium in 2014. An absolute legend, and don't think there was any debate on this one. Because what do you think?
Nobody close.
Nobody.
Let's go to left back.
Left back, DeMarcus Beasley, 126 caps for the USA, 17 goals, 13 assists, and he played for PSV, Man City, and Rangers.
Yeah.
A good stint in Europe. One of our, I think, longest serving European Americans. Um, but
Nobody.
absolute just class at that left back.
Yeah, nobody to debate with there. Fantastic left back, great American. Um, Not a good pundit. Really
Not,
not good
not
pundit.
a good
Uh,
pundit.
if you watch the Ghana
Doesn't,
or the Germany game, just doesn't say the right
yeah,
things.
doesn't know how to
Just
put words together.
doesn't. He didn't know who Gundawa was, or at least how to say his name.
Let's move to our number one center back. And I think we're in agreement that Tim Ream, um, by far number one. Spent most of his career now with Fulham, captaining them from the Championship to the Premier League, and they stayed up last year and they've been doing pretty well this year. So he's got 52 appearances for the U.S. men's national team, 1 goal, 4 assists, and he was by far our best defender in the last World Cup. Tim Ream. I just
Nick,
don't think that there's another person with that resume for that long.
he's the best center back that's ever played for us.
And for our second center back, it was hard here. It was honestly, um, it was between Eddie Pope and John Brooks. Um, at the I leaned me and Miguez had a long discussion about this before. We won't get into the whole thing. It was basically just, John Brooks has maybe one of the best moments in all of U.S. men's national team soccer, if not the best moment. Scoring that goal against Ghana, beating Ghana, and to get out of that group in the 2014 World Cup. But that is the only game that he played in that World Cup. And when I
Only
started
game he
doing more
played in any World
research,
Cup for
yeah,
us.
yeah, and he hasn't been selected to the last World Cup team, and still hasn't made it in the team. Don't blame that on him though. Do blame that on Triple G. But I personally leaned Eddie Pope for this one. He made 82 appearances, scored 8 goals. He went to 3 World Cups. He started in every single game that he played for us, and he started every single game in the 2002 World Cup that we made it to the quarterfinals, I believe, right?
Made
The
it
furthest
past around the
that we've ever
16.
been. He started every single game, was an absolute rock at the back, and he played 11 years for the men's national team. So I think it's a
Yeah.
slight edge because I think in all actuality, John Brooks is a better player. Eddie Pope was a MLS lifer, so I think, but I just Eddie Pope's resume and legacy, I think you do have to maybe edge Eddie Pope in. If John Brooks can get back into the team, I think that is subject to change.
Yeah, we tried to a goal our goal for this starting 11 was try to have a good mix of uh legacy, respecting legacies, and then halfway, who do you actually want on your team to beat other teams? So, I mean, if I had like right now, I'm picking Cameron Carter Vickers and Tim Ream,
Yeah.
the two best center backs I've actually seen play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm picking them if it's the two best. If it's resume, you can't like Ream's resume in Europe is
Yeah.
better than any center back.
Yeah. I think Ream's resume in Europe is better.
And
Yeah.
then
You put that over anyone's USMNT resume.
yeah, and then Eddie Pope's national team resume is
It's
one of the
pretty
most impressive.
funny.
Not that I don't know
Started every
I've
game.
never seen him play.
I've never seen Eddie
Never
play.
seen him play.
I looked up highlights and everything, but like it's starting every single game,
His
being in the team that went the furthest, 3 World Cups. I mean, like that resume is about as good as you can get. It's
yeah,
probably
you
one
would
of the best resumes in USMNT history.
and we don't want to downplay at all
Yeah,
John Brooks's header versus Ghana because if that didn't happen, the United States, I don't know if we'll ever get respect from big European nations, but if that goal didn't happen and we lost to Ghana for the third World Cup in a row, didn't make it out of the group, ended up not making it out of the group in 18, I don't even know if I would respect our national team if that goal, if you
It made
just
me
take
fall in
away
love with
that
soccer.
goal alone is immense.
That
That
goal
goal,
made me
yeah,
fall in love with the sport. So I mean,
yeah,
like it. Who knows how many
immense,
other people? Um, and I
huge,
love John Brooks for it,
hugely important goal.
but I think just right
But that was
here,
the only World Cup
it,
game he ever
yeah,
played.
yeah.
Like it, and then
Which
again,
isn't
you could
completely
make
his
the
fault,
point
but
where I'd rather have
he was there when we didn't qualify for 2018. He was in the team.
so he would have been in that World Cup. And you could
Yes.
make the point where I'd rather that one, the ripple effect from that one play from John Brooks. I'll take that and what that means over 60 slightly above average caps for the national team from somebody else who played center back.
I would agree. I would agree.
Just because you can have somebody else step up and play 60 average games, but you might not have
Mhm.
anybody that header you might not be
Yeah.
able to create it ever again
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that so we
Not downplaying
respect
Brooks at
not
all.
we
I
can't
mean,
downplay John Brooks at all.
but just for the sake of mixing,
We're
legacy
trying to
and
get a
I
healthy
think
mix of resume
yeah.
and
John Brooks is the
skill,
first guy off the bench though. First guy off the bench.
but
Hmm.
like significance,
Yeah.
it's John Brooks and Eddie Poper, the two center backs.
Yeah. 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 Reem, I
But
agree. Reem wouldn't be there based
but
off. Yeah.
Tim Ream's ability to play on the ball, off the
Has to
ball,
be in the team.
defensively solid against the best teams in the world for 5 years,
Hmm.
every game, starting every game, captaining the last 2 years, every game,
Yeah.
not missing a game. Like
Yeah.
no other American center back has
Mhm.
done that yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to be next to do that, but
Hopefully somebody in
that's got to be
2026.
respected and noted. But we got to move on. We got to move to the right back.
Yeah, to right back, I think you could toss it up. I think if you made a case for Yedlin, I think that's fair. Um, I think the two right backs that we have in our team right now, Destin and Scally, are far and away better than anybody that we could have chosen here. But I went Steve Cherundolo, 86 appearances, 2 goals, 3 World Cup appearances, 4 assists, and he spent 16 years in the Bundesliga with Hanover 96. So kind of a pioneer when it comes to going over to Europe, especially Germany. I know we've had a big pipeline of guys going over there um, and having success. So he was one of those first guys to do it. I think he started there in '99 and was a staple in the U.S. men's national team for a good bit, pretty much his whole career. Um, you got anything on him?
I never watched him play, but I mean, the guy that started all that
He's
going to
nowhere.
Europe.
I like you just can't convince me that he's better than Dester Scally, but like just
Yeah,
for
he's
the
not better than
like
Dester Scally.
they just haven't done enough. They're just
I don't
too
even know if he's better than Yedlin.
yeah. He might not be better than yet, but like I just Yedlin doesn't.
But
Um,
who knows how long it would have taken us to go set up our German league pipeline, and
yeah, yeah,
even I'm sure he affected a lot of people's decision to go to Europe.
yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
that's pretty huge
Got to
for
put him in
United
there for
States program.
that. We'll move to our left center mid. One Weston McKinney. You see it. 48 appearances, 11 goals, 5 assists. I, I just you're not going to convince me that our midfield now. There's nobody that's ever been close to this in U.S. men's national team history. There's been a lot of guys that have probably, I mean, lots of appearances, been in maybe 3 World Cups and played decent, but like they're not this quality. Weston McKinney is probably the best, especially just like at that pivot position. I mean, there's not another dude in USMNT history that can play like him. So I think you got to have him in the team.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't even think about if Adam was here, he'd definitely be a little bit unhappy that McKinney's in there instead of Kyle Beckerman. But
The next pivot, we will go Tyler Adams. Um, I think it's got to be Tyler over Musa right now. Musa's just so young; he doesn't have enough caps for us currently. But Tyler, I mean, just was so goddamn good in the World Cup. Captained us in the World Cup. was immense against England. Um, all around just fantastic, man. And I think he's got so much more to do for us and
Yeah.
in the sport.
He was a
I'm hoping that he can get back from that injury, and he's going to be massive for us. Like we were talking
he was
about, like in
probably
the
the
Germany.
best. He's probably our best guy, or the guy I was most pleased with at the World
Yeah,
Cup.
yeah,
Like
he was
he was
fantastic,
everywhere, just
fiery too,
pocketing
man.
pocketing world class center mids, like it just playing with the best of the best and being dominant
Yeah.
against them. Center attacking midfielder next.
Hmm.
We uh we 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 stuck Landon Donovan in. There's no doubt in my mind that
Gioreno is better than anybody that you could ever think to put anywhere near that position.
right.
Um, but
But
Landon Donovan's the greatest.
trying to keep a healthy mix
Yeah,
of legacy, significance. Um, and you got to have Landon somewhere. Landon and Clint, you got to have them
157
somewhere.
appearances, 3 World Cup appearances, 57 goals, 58 assists, and again
The
one
goal
of our
against,
most historic moments
yeah,
against Algeria, getting
goal
that
against
goal.
Algeria, top 3 USMNT moment ever.
Um, had to include him, even if it's putting him at Cam. I don't think he really played there until later in his career, but you
Yeah.
got to have Lando in the team one way or another. We'll move to the left wing position. Obviously, Christian Pulisic already probably, and in my mind, he's already the greatest U.S. men's national team player of all time, skill wise, everything. Just how he's gotten us from the lows of 2018 to the highs of making the World Cup, and where we're at now and where we're going to be. Um, but 63 appearances for him, 28 goals as of the Ghana game, and 14 assists.
Doubt. No
Um,
doubt. I think I love Clint so much. I think I'd still give Clint the GOAT tag, but Pulisic is going to be that unless
very soon.
unless Balogun or Gio Reyna have something to say about it.
Speaking of Fuller and Balogun, moved to the striker position. It might piss some fucking people off. I don't think either of us give a shit. Fuller and Balogun is far and away the greatest striker that we've ever fucking. I don't give a fuck that he's got 5 appearances. He's got 5 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. The
Yeah.
kid's a fucking animal.
Five
He's only played
appearances?
and
Yeah, it
that's only
doesn't
in big
matter.
games too. That's only in big games.
Yeah.
Um, he's been amazing, man. And he's gonna be amazing for years to come. So glad that we got him
So good.
from England. Uh,
The
yeah,
more the more
he's
we'll
got
able
potential to be the greatest,
the
man.
more we're able to fine tune our system to get him the ball, the more success we will have.
Mm-hmm.
And the more success and respect he will get.
Just get
He's
Valor ball.
the more you give him the ball, the more it's going to suck for other teams.
And then we'll move to our final position, right wing. We had to go with Clinton Dempsey. Uh, his goal against Ghana, probably it's probably one of my favorite goals of all time.
That's
I
my
can
favorite.
still that's
That's
I
my
love
number
the
one
John Brooks
US
as
moment.
well, man. Jermaine Jones, but I can still remember myself running through my house when he scored that goal on
Yeah.
Xbox with Ty. Um, but he made 141 appearances for the USMNT, 57 goals, 21 assists. Um, Absolute class, man. Texas boy, just putting on for us. You can't ask for much more. Clinton Dempsey, man.
Yeah, getting the respect of pundits, whatever, getting into the entertainment side of football,
Best pundit
putting
we
the
got.
US on the map in that way. The only person from America that I don't mind talking about soccer with some English guys. And yeah, he's putting us on the map there. He put us. He's the goat USMNT guy for me until these young guys get a few more years under their belt.
All righty, let's move to the game week 9 predictions. We're going to roll through these fast. Game 1, Liverpool versus Everton. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. I think at home, it's just going to be too much for Everton.
Yeah,
I
I
think Everton's
got
going to put up a good fight.
yeah me, Adam, and Luke. I got Adam and Luke's. We all have 3-1.
3-1 Liverpool. All righty.
Yeah.
Bournemouth versus Wolves. I've got a 1-1 draw.
Uh, Me and Adam have 1-0 Wolves. Luke has 2-0 Wolves, and Adam does have a He Chan Huang goal.
It's automatic. Um,
Should be at this point. Hold
we'll move to Brentford versus Burnley. I'm going to go 0-0 in this game.
on. Let's see. Adam went 1-1. Adam went 1-1 Burnley, he said. 1-1 Burnley.
1-1
Looks
Burnley.
like
They have to win.
Luke went 2-2. Wait.
2-2 draw.
Burnley and Brentford are playing?
Yeah.
Luke went 2-1 Brentford.
2-1 Brentford. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna
Um,
go. Fuck, man. I guess I'll go one. Ah, I guess I'll go 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's move to City versus Brighton. I'm gonna go 2-1 Man City. I don't think Pep's lost 4 games in a row since he got into the Premier League, so yeah, no shot.
Let's see. Luke went with a 2-2 draw. Adam went with a 4-2 City win. Holland being the 2-goal difference by himself with a brace. I'm gonna go. Both these teams are liable to win 3-1 every single game. I'm gonna go Man City 3-1.
All right. Uh, Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. I'm gonna go 2-0 Newcastle.
As did Adam. Luke went 2-1 Newcastle. I'm going to go with y'all. I'm gonna go 2-0.
Um, Nottingham Forest versus Luton Town. I'm gonna go 1-0 Forest.
All right. I'm gonna do the same. 1-0 Forest. Looks like Adam went 2-1 Forest. Luke went 2-0 Forest.
Chelsea versus Arsenal, probably game of the week right here. I think I really, man, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal, but I think y'all are gonna give them fucking hell. I really do believe that y'all are gonna give them hell, and it's gonna be a good game. I don't think it's just gonna be them shitting on y'all. I think y'all are
Thank you
definitely
for
gonna,
that.
yeah.
Looks like Adam went 3-1 Arsenal. Luke went 2-0 Arsenal. I'm gonna go with 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal.
Yep.
Uh, Sheffield United versus Manchester United. I'm gonna go 3-1 United.
See, Adam went 2-0 United. Luke went 2-1 United. I'll go yeah, 2-0 United. No, 2-1 I'm gonna go 2-1 United. 2-1 United.
All right, let's move on to Aston Villa versus West Ham. I'm gonna go 2-2 draw on this one. These are the same exact team.
Aston Villa and West Ham, you said?
Yeah,
Adam went 2-2 draw.
it's the
Luke went
same.
2-2 draw.
It's the same exact teams. 2-2 draw.
Man, we could ride this. Same exact teams we got here. Let's
Same
go 2-2.
color,
Let's
same
all let's all go
concept.
2-2. Why
2-2.
go against it?
Fuck it.
2-2.
Go with the flow. And then last game we've got Tottenham versus Fulham. I'm gonna go 2-0 Tottenham.
Let's see. Adam went 2-1 Tottenham. Luke went 3-1 Tottenham. I'm gonna go 3-0 Tottenham.
Come on, you spec.
Yeah.
All righty, well that'll be it for us on episode 8 of Yanking My Ball. We appreciate y'all joining us. We know it was a little bit of a short week, not much going on with this international break, but we're gonna soldier through it. But yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Give us a like and a subscribe, and see y'all next week.